Welcome back to Superstarglam. In today's video, I am putting the Morphe and James Charles palette to the test. I will show you a demo of me creating this look. I definitely went in and tried to use as many colors as I could. I definitely played with a lot of color and didn't really use a lot of neutrals except for maybe deepening or creating the wing, but other than that, everything else is all color from the top to the bottom. Again, I just wanted to use as many colors as possible. And right before we jump into the demo and swatches and my final thoughts on this palette, I want to just make sure that if you are new to my channel, that you go ahead and you click that little button down below, subscribe, and join the Superstarglam squad family. Also, before you leave, click the little notification bell so that you are alerted and know every time I upload a video. So let's just jump into the demo. So it did come with the clear cover that that it usually comes with, and it did have the names on the cover, but I decided to kind of like DIY it and glue it to the actual palette, but I did end up messing up the first row, so I had to write it in, and the rest of them do have the names on it. I don't think that you can tell, so it'll be a lot easier for me to see the names now that I've done this. So anyway, so I'm going to start off by priming my eyes. I'm going to take the matte Pro Longwear paint pot in a soft ochre. I don't know what look I'm creating, but I do know that I want to create a colorful look. I'm going to try to incorporate as many colors as I can. So I'm going to start by putting down the first color. I think I'm going to go in with Playground, which is that turquoise shade. Okay, there's Fallout. I'm going to apply this one to the inner crease area. I'm going to wipe it down, and now I'm going to go in with Cola, and I'm going to apply this to the outer crease. And I'm going to wipe down the brush again, and I'm going to take the shade Brother, that's more like a periwinkle. Actually, I'm not going to use the same brush. I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to use the BH fan brush, the number 6, and take it with that shade Brother. It's a lot of follow. And I'm going to use this to help blend out the edges. This is a Sigma E25. I'm just going to go over the edges to help blend out. It doesn't have any product, so it's clean. It's a clean brush. And I'm going to go back to the same brush and then that color just to, again, help blend those edges. Just using circular motions on the edges. Going back with Playground and doing the same thing, just circular motions to make sure there are no harsh lines. It's all blended out. At this point, since the edges seemed blended out, I'm also intensifying the colors. Now I'm going to take that blending brush. I didn't have any product, but I'm going to apply a little bit of canvas, just a tiny bit, again, just to help blend out the edges. Okay, now I'm going to do a cut crease. I'm gonna take the MAC Prolong Wear Concealer in NC20. I'm taking the Sigma E55 and taking the shade Hello, which is like kind of like a frosty turquoise. And I'm gonna apply this to the inner lid. And then I'm gonna take Cape Cod, which is like a deep teal shade, but it's like a shimmery shade. And I'm gonna apply that to the outer portion. Going back with Hello to help blend those together. I want Hello to be a little bit brighter, so I think I'm gonna wet my brush. And then to finish off the outer corner, I'm gonna take the shade Daddy, which is this like deep forest green. And there is fallout, but that's why I decided to do my eyes first. And then I'm taking Cola and just blend out the edges. And then the brush that the blending brush E25 that didn't have any product, just blend out those edges. I'm going to apply Social Blade just right in between, just to help blend Cape Cod and Daddy. Just for some added dimension. I can't decide if I want to go in with the yellow one B or the orange one 518. And I kind of want to apply it as a liner. I'm going to take 518, and so I'm going to clean up the eye with the concealer again and create the wing, and then I'll go over it and set it with the shadow. And I'm taking 518. So now that I'm here, I decided I'm gonna switch it up again. So I have the 518 in the inner, then I'm gonna go next with You're Kidding to kind of do like an ombre. The next color, I think I'm gonna take Boutique. So it's kind of like a reddish brown shade. And then I'm gonna finish it off with Benny, which is like a deep brown. I'm taking one of those BH fan brushes. This is even smaller, the number 8, and taking Benny. I'm just going to apply just a tiny bit to help again blend out the edges. Okay, I don't know how this looks. I'm just putting all these colors, trying to use as many colors as I can. But so far, they're all performing really good. They're all really pigmented and they're all blending out nicely. I'm going to take B and I'm going to apply this as my inner corner. Okay, I'm gonna leave it as this because I still have to finish off the rest of my face, and I'm just gonna work on the bottom lash line, and then just clean it up and then finish off the face. So I'm gonna go back with Benny, that dark shade, in the outer corner, just to connect the top with the bottom. I'm gonna go in with Escape right after that. That's a pretty color. It's like a grape shade. Some purples like these don't always look purple once you apply them. They kind of start looking like more of like a plummy color. And then for the inner portion, I'm going to apply Skip, which is this bright pink. That's pretty. I'm gonna go back with the E blending brush and just blend out the edges. So now I'm just gonna go in and finish the rest of the face, pop up some lashes, finish up my brows, and I will be right back. So I felt this colorful, drastic look definitely needed dramatic hair as well. So I'm still not completely done. I skipped the highlighter because one of the big pans from the middle section can double up as a highlighter. It's the one called Face. So let's try this. There's another shade here. It's called Ring Light. So I'm going to apply this to my brow bone. Okay. And then, since this yellow is bright, but I still kind of want it to pop, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply So Good on the same brush, and I'm just going to wet my brush. I'm going to go back to Face, and hopefully that one is... Nope. I mean, it's bright, it's just not what I'm wanting. So now I'm going to go into Ring Light. And just try to blend that out. Talk about a colorful eye look. So this is the completed look using the Morphe x James Charles collab palette. For the most part, this is a really versatile palette when it comes to color and neutrals. It covers everything. It covers a brow bone, it covers transition shades and different tones, it covers a lot of neutral colors. Almost every color of the rainbow is under this palette as well. It has a variety of shimmers and mattes. The only one, if I had to say anything negative about this palette, is like the only one that I could say is okay, or maybe not as vibrant as I was expecting it, is the shade of Artistry, which is that beautiful purple shade, shimmering purple shade. Has like a blue violet shift to this shade. Although it's pretty and it swatches nice, I do feel like it came up just a tad bit short. I had previously used this palette on a look, and I'll insert the picture right here of the look that I created. I primarily used the purple tones, and I was drawn to that shade Artistry. And again, it wasn't as pigmented as, say, the rest of the colors in this palette. They all pack a punch when it comes to color, but that shade, you definitely have to build it up. I would suggest that you apply a base, maybe in that shade, or a black base. That way that color can pop even more. And you definitely have to go in and wet your brush. So basically all the tips and tricks that you know in terms of how to work with certain shadows, you would have to apply to that shadow specifically, because it is the only one in this palette so far that I know of. I think for the most part, Morphe tends to have a consistency even through their collabs in terms of like pigmentation and blendability on their eyeshadow. So this palette is what you would typically have known Morphe for if you have experienced Morphe palettes in the past. So there's nothing that they changed in terms of like formula or performance. I think they all perform as equally as they do in other Morphe palettes. I would definitely recommend this palette for its versatility. Like if you were ever looking for a palette that includes everything, including colors of the rainbow, this would be your palette. I feel that it's definitely a palette that if you haven't really gone out, for example, there's a lot of palettes out there that specifically just have bright colors, like bright neon colors, and it's just a palette on its own. Or there's palettes that combine most of the shades are neutral shades and with just pops of color here and there. But if you want a palette that includes everything under the rainbow, every color, and you can also use it as an everyday palette, then this would be your palette. That was pretty much all I really had to say about that. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you next time. Bye.